I'm not quite sure whose idea it was to leave the freezer door open last night, but we are not going to be leaving very early by the look of that. Yeah, not happy, Jan. My goodness, that is a popsicle. And my poor old bike, I don't think I've ever quite seen it covered in ice before. That's amazing. Goodness me. But what a sunrise. Frost everywhere. Boy, that's us. Brr. Wendy will not believe it.
Morning everyone. Okay, that was a very cold night, but this little motel at Nowendock is just absolutely lovely. Really, really impressive, and I would come back here all the time if I'm coming this way. They had it was 2 rooms or 3 rooms, bathroom, bedroom, and a little living area, and they just supplied so much stuff. They supplied cooking utensils, a fry pan and a toaster, and they put bread in little bags in the fridge for us, 2 slices each, and they had breakfast cereals, stuff that you don't normally have in a motel. They had a variety of spreads in jars and sachets, Foxtel TV. It was just all lovely. Flannelette sheets and electric blankets so that you didn't suffer the cold at all. And it's off the highway. You don't hear anything. Well, it's not really a highway as such. Thunderbolts Way. It's a quiet road anyway, but it's just way out in the middle of nowhere, and it is so lovely to come here. You wouldn't really know about it at all unless you looked up somewhere to stay because you were tired or whatever, or we had pre-booked. Tom found it, but I certainly hope they get a lot of business because they deserve it. So we're heading off to Gloucester now. Gloucester. And we'll stay in Gloucester for a bit of a walk around, or a cup of coffee, drink of coffee, and stretch our legs, and then move on to Adamstown. Honestly, we were exhausted last night. Our age, I'm quite an unfit lady. I'm not a regular exercising person. Tom's, I would have said he's fairly fit, but I'd tell you, both 63, and we were just both, we'd only gone a bit over 200 k's, and that was with 3 stops. We were absolutely shattered. Bones were hurting, neck was aching a little bit, and you probably say, well, why do you do it? Well, we just do because there's a love for it, I guess. But we were so pleased to see that motel and to see how lovely it was and so warm and welcoming. And at the end of the day, when you're feeling like that, to go to somewhere like that's just absolutely wonderful. Better than a tent. Especially when you wake up and there's ice everywhere. But we're feeling fresh and ready to go again today. So that was Nowendock, and should we be coming back this way, that's where we'll stay. Now on to Gloucester. I just want to say that this is a quiet, Thunderbolts Way is quiet with traffic. There seems to be more coming the other way. And for a learner, it's fantastic. It's got a nice amount of curves and bends. It's nice straight runs. It's for a learner. It is really good. So if you live in that area, or if you're on a journey and you're a learner, well, we see bikes. The bikes obviously enjoy it, but for a learner where you don't want to have everything around you, this road is just glorious. Just be aware of the kangaroos, but they're everywhere, so it doesn't matter where you go, you usually encounter them. I'm having enormous problems with this little microphone. It's got that furry stuff on it and it keeps tickling my chin. It's driving me insane. No matter where I move it, it bounces back to my chin. So we need to do a bit of maintenance on that so that stops. Might have to give it a haircut. See those roads up there? That's probably a biker's paradise. But it's just so lovely and curvy and great to be on. I'm rugged up fairly well. I'm not too cold at all, considering that at 6:30 this morning the bikes were absolutely covered in ice. And the sun's out and it's a beautiful day. So hopefully it'll be a beautiful day tomorrow, because the riding school goes in rain, hail or shine. And hopefully it won't be raining. 8 hours is a long day. I'm not really sure what to fully expect. I know we do go out on the road in a group, and I suppose there's a lot of theory involved as well, and a lot of techniques. As long as I take it all in. And I'm hoping I do. I'm hoping I pass. As I said, I did have until next May. I may have gone a bit early, but appointments are few and far between because it's a waiting list for the Riker. So I jumped at the chance when it came up. I don't think I've ever even driven in Newcastle before. Tom's usually done the driving. I'm sure I haven't driven through Newcastle before, let alone ride one of these. So I'm the sort of person that, living in Brisbane for 32 years, that's the area that I know. And so I'm not terribly phased if I know where I'm going. Because I did live close to the city. So I'm used to Brisbane traffic and how things go, but I know Newcastle is nowhere near as big as Brisbane, but it's still technically a city and it'll still be very busy. But I'm relying on Tom and following him because his GPS in his head is very good, whereas I get lost in a paper bag. I don't have a setup here for to put my phone on mapping. They did say on the notes, the email, now when you take your Ryker, of course it has to be roadworthy, but it is not allowed to be modified in any way. No modifications at all. So if you've bought a Ryker and gone ahead and done lots of things to it, you won't be allowed to use it. Of course, after you get your license, I suppose that's okay. I don't really plan on doing any modifications to this one. The only thing I've got is the bag on the back. Well, that's not really a modification, I don't think, because it's removable. But I suppose, I don't know what they mean, exhausts and all sorts of things. I really don't know. I've just popped it back on to record this little bit of journey through these trees. It's cool in here without the sun, but it's nice. As you can see, I'm only doing 84 because, admittedly there is a car behind me, but he's not sitting close. It'll be a different story if we go home the highway. No, I'm a bit nervous because there'll be cars everywhere, but they can go past because it's dual. So I won't be dawdling though. Very curvy here. I'll put this down as good practice for tomorrow. Gain confidence every time you ride. I think there's a bit of a lookout here, so we're going to pull over and have a look. So, what are we looking at? I'm not sure if that's part of the Warrumbungles. Is that the Warrumbungles? That was Tom's way of saying he doesn't know either. Just a little bit misty, maybe. Smoky. There's a big green patch down there. I don't know what that is. Obviously someone is watering it. Yeah. Might be crops. And there's a track over there going up into the hills.
Really? Wow. I remember it was cold this morning.
Yes.
Welcome back everybody, it's me. Wendy's had enough. I'll explain. We've got a microphone inside the helmet and it's stuck to a little magnet in there and there's a little windsock on it, a little furry critter. Well, he's not that little, and because I've got whiskers I can't feel it touching me, but Wendy can. And it's driving her nuts, she said. It's tickling her chin, and if I turn it around the other way, it's tickling her nose. And I can understand that. I probably wouldn't like it myself. So I've taken over the microphone, and we're coming down this mountain range, and this truck is carrying cattle, and the cattle are urinating. Well, it's not going to stay in the truck, is it? So what's happening? All the pee's coming out onto the road. That's that little line you see there. We just come onto this truck, but back further, coming down through some other twisties, we found that same line of, and I thought, that's fresh. Now I know why. And the odour isn't the best, I will admit. Oh, poo. Never mind. I wish I could say I was a vegetarian at times like this, because I feel sorry for those poor buggers.